And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for even more Burning Wheel. So, we just had a duel of wits. Things got a little intense, and the long story short, Evelyn, the second in command of Nicholas Smolak, made a power grab on his organization while simultaneously shooting down the proposition that she should be training like the smugglers in hand-to-hand combat. So when we come back in, I got the impression that you kind of wanted to like play out the aftermath of this conversation. So who do we fade back in on when we fade back in?
I'd say our esteemed guild leader, because he wanted to say something as we stopped.
No, I think I was pretty much done in terms of what I wanted to say. Just affirming what we got. We got the point of the compromise across, and it's just a case of agreeing that yes, now we're going to. Nikki's basically yeah. I have one more thing to say. So Nikki nods to what Evelyn said and just says, "You are right, of course. We can't expand. We can't become great if we sit and be timid. If we skulk around like we used to. It'll take some time. It'll take work. But we'll make ourselves known and we'll make it big."
We don't have to give up the smuggling, you know. In fact, it's better if we don't. I've always said that it's a piece of shit bad idea for business and for our rep that we sell what we get to the others who then sell it on the streets. We should be running the drug trade here, not facilitating it.
Well, maybe now is the time we make that happen.
She gives you a smile.
Oh, she can smile.
Yeah, it can happen.
And then at that point, his grin becomes just he shares a smile, and it is the closest thing that Nikki can get to a genuine smile because this is Nikki. And then, as quick as that, it's gone, and it develops a slightly more lecherous look, and just says. And I know I'm totally ripping off a Star Trek quote when I say this, but I've got to do it. Did anyone ever tell you that you're angry when you're beautiful?
Okay, so I think like maybe that is the point that like she gives you like a lewd grin back, and then that's the point where we leave that conversation
Yes.
to the wilds of people's imaginations, and we instead like we cut to outside somewhere where we find the injured party of the duel of wits. So Shihao, where do we find you, and what are you doing when Minnow catches up to you?
I think he would have gone to the Striders, and when Minnow catches up to him, he's contemplating becoming a bird and taking off.
Cool.
And I think just because he's clearly pissed off, the air around him is shimmering ever so slightly, and small sparks appear every once in a while.
So I think like as we see Minnow come running into the frame,
Not running, he's just walking.
Walking into the frame, the focus of the camera changes, and we have an establishing view of you and the Striders, and we have Minnow in the foreground looking at you, and then we see like in the background of this, sitting in the impromptu pen you have created for the Striders in the back alley of this cluster of buildings. Seated on the porch of the back entrance to the building is your teacher just sitting there with like a piece of wicker or something, like teasing one of the Striders ever so slowly, and just like being very mellow. But he's looking at you as you come out. You're clearly upset, and as your brother comes out following you, he kind of just like returns his gaze to the Strider, not paying your youthful exuberance any mind.
Please don't electrocute them. It took ages to find a female.
Huh? Oh,
You're
yeah.
sparkling. He
Yeah,
just smells you're
2 seconds.
sparkling.
2 seconds. It's the door's ringing.
Cool.
It's going to be...
Hello on the other side.
Content
Oh, God.
flags! Boom!
No.
I must have called a million times.
If
I
we-
don't know the song, I just know that part of it.
I mean, I think everyone knows that part of it, and then the other statement is true of half the world. Like, half the world doesn't know the rest of the song either. It's just like,
And I only know it because I saw it with a picture of an otter on a slide. Hello on the other slide.
oh my. That's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, internet, why do you do this?
But it was so cute. The otter is just standing at the foot of the slide. You know, a water slide?
Mm.
And just, hello on the other slide.
Oh no.
Hello again.
Hello.
I'm back.
You is back.
Yes,
Was it an
I'm
otter?
sparkling.
Yeah, you sparkling.
So yeah, that's the situation as your brother reaches you.
Shihao takes like a moment to try and center himself. It clearly doesn't work. And looks up and says, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Idiocy has a tendency to do that to me."
I know. Wanna take off?
Yes.
Let's find somewhere more quiet.
How would you like to get there?
Well, you know he knows witch's flight, so that means he'll be jumping on the roofs.
So as you start exchanging ideas like this, you hear like a grumbling harumph from your teacher, who is still not looking at you, but he's very clearly harumphing at you, clearing his throat at you derisively.
So
Well, he can say what he
is-
wants, or he can fuck off. In Shihao's mind right now.
Yeah, I mean,
And Minnow is used to him not harumphing at him, so he doesn't really give heed.
so he's already communicating with you. I'm imagining like you having a pretty solid understanding of how you both communicate. So you talking about like, I'm gonna turn into a bird and we're gonna jump on the roofs and so on. Like he's presently telling you to
No, he
to
is
do
not
that.
saying that he's gonna do it. He's just indicating, pointing up.
Yeah,
Wanna get out and then pointing up.
yeah. I think that's exactly what's happening, right? He reads that situation perfectly, and he's like, yeah, I get you. I know you kids. Stop it. What are you doing? Don't.
He can harumph all he wants. If he doesn't say anything, Minnow's not gonna care the least.
So
I think Shihao has probably been sitting on something.
mhm.
He extends his hand to Minnow, like, help me up.
He just takes his hand and pulls him up.
Would you assist me then?
With... Oh, you can't censor yourself.
He smiles and starts
And it's just...
casting.
Minnow
you'll help
just...
him?
Yeah.
So, let's see. Falcon's skin. Obstacle 4.
So you want to turn
Actions
into a
12.
bird?
Yes.
Okay. To do what?
In order to be able to fly.
And do what?
Move elsewhere.
Okay. Well,
Is it only a personal spell?
yeah.
Yes.
Too bad. I could give him witch's flight so we could jump together.
Cool. So you do that.
Do you want me to roll?
No.
No? Cool.
You get help from me.
You magic.
There's no need. I mean, I'm awesome like that.
Yeah, and I mean there is nothing you want, right? This is you want to just like get out of here to not be here, so you do that.
Yeah, and I'm guessing if we're using these methods, we'll probably go quite far.
Yeah.
I mean, not the other city, like 5 miles that way, but
all he wanted was to say, well, we can leave the city for a while so you can cool down.
Yeah.
Meaning that we'll jump out of the city and he can kill a couple of trees and we can come back at some other point. He's basically just keeping up his end of the deal with, I'm gonna make sure he doesn't burn down the city.
I'm gonna shift your view. And that
Yay!
Look at
Where
that.
were we?
you
That's,
are presently
pretty
like
okay.
around here-ish.
Yes, very deep in pike markers.
In that case, we should probably head south. If Minnow needs to jump on things, assuming that down is south.
He
on this map.
can jump pretty far.
Down is south.
Because my initial thought was to fly across the water and over there, but I don't know if you can jump that far.
Tens of paces in one jump.
Yeah,
And it gets better the better I cast it.
Yeah, so you cannot make that jump on a witch flight.
Nope.
So let's go south then.
Okay.
Go somewhere this direction.
So where do we find you? Like we see you taking off, and like we see you like you turn into a bird and you soar, like you start soaring. We see like Minnow bounding on the roofs as you go. And do you have any particular idea on like where we find you when you?
Well, Minnow heads outside, and if there is a forest nearby, then that's where he's heading.
There definitely is.
Yeah, I was thinking the edge on of a forest or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna shift map again, because we're outside of the city now. So
Yeah.
Where are we now?
let's see. I need to remember my Roll20 foo, but I think it's shift pinging that drags you to someplace.
Yeah.
Good. So that's
So Manning Bridge has nothing around it.
Manning Bridge has a mountain, and on the other side of the mountain there's a large forest.
So we're probably at the foot of the mountain instead. Depending on how far away that is.
Yeah. So you need to go a good while, and it's like, of course there are trees, and of course it's like not complete flatland, right? It's inclining hill country, with lots of escarpments and so on. But the point is that if you leave the city in that direction, all you really have is the merchant road that winds through the land, and like the terrain inclining up the side and becoming Mount Brint, in the shadow of which Manning Bridge lies.
Cool.
So where do we find you? Like, if we imagine, like we have a diagonal wipe, and when we see you again, you're back in like you're back in man shape, and you are wherever you imagine like the next scene playing out.
All right, in a field.
Okay, that works.
You know, not one that's been made up here. I'm making stuff, but
A meadow.
the wild plains of hills and shit.
Sure, definitely. So like
yeah.
on a grassy hillside.
Yeah. And Minnow just plops down and looks up.
Yeah, I think Xiaoji, having landed and become a man again, would have probably laid down on a hill and started cloud watching or something.
Yeah.
Very serene. Good way to calm down.
He still looks pissed, but it's clear that he's
Yeah.
trying to calm down.
Yep.
Jeez. Am I misunderstanding it, or is she entirely unwilling to do what it takes to get the position she desires?
I think she's a hothead. There's a difference.
Hmm.
Remember when the last one that went hothead? He was actually pretty wise. Remember that guy from the tribe? But he got so hot-headed he just went out and got himself killed because he had something to prove. At least he
True.
thought so. So I think that's actually just the point. She's not stupid. She's just a hothead.
That is still a dangerous trait, and any
Yep.
death in that group will be on her hands until they are trained.
And I'm pretty sure Nicky got it covered. At least he talked her down from fuming. She did concede that she couldn't just stay on her pedestal and watch as the rest of us burned. She's not gonna train us, but she's not gonna run off like an idiot.
I cannot fathom her reason as to why.
Me neither. But that's maybe because we're not from here.
As if we don't have leadership in the Stormlands.
Exactly, but they grow their food. We had to hunt for it. There is a difference. They don't move about like we did. To them, it's a much more stationary shit.
I think, as you say, like they like as if we don't have leadership. I think like just as a point of like showcasing the clash of cultures, of like a clash of cultures and like worlds in your case, right? We know and have established that you're like a nomadic tribe, and we get like we get a shot of you guys like sitting there having this conversation, like the camera is somewhere down in the grass looking up at you, and we see like between the two of you up the incline of the cliff, we see Shrike's Landing, this enormous fortified castle, like a castle / fortress, like built on the mountainside, that just like showcases like that paints the difference we're talking about, right? When you say like we have leadership, that picture then like is like
yeah,
for the artsy director being like there is like these are two different worlds talking.
Yeah. So I think it's just the difference from where we're from, actually.
Huh.
If shit goes down here, they can't just pick up their house and leave.
No, and apparently they can't fight for it either because their leaders are unwilling to teach them.
Well, isn't that a thing we've seen all the way through? They're peasants and they're not taught to fight, and then they're soldiers and they are. It's not like in our world where we actually have to fight every day. In a way, they're probably mollycoddled that way.
They do seem to establish a lot of rules for themselves that they only follow because they've always done it.
Yep. Traditions is a shit. Speaking of traditions, we are kind of clinging to our own.
She
just smiles at him, like, yeah, and now you've said that, we kind of cling to our own as well.
She just shrugs and changes the subject. Do you think?
Not going there.
Do you think it would be unwise to lure her into an alley and get rid of her?
Possibly.
I mean, of course, in a manner that Nicholas Smolak would not find out who had done it. Possibly even blaming the red whatevers that are after us.
Yeah, well, that would pose another problem, wouldn't it? She was actually better than I were in that fight. If she goes down, there's no one left who knows how to fight.
I think Shihaudi turns his head and looks at you, considering for a while, and then he says, "That's because you fight with brute force and no technique."
I'm getting the technique. I think I'm getting closer. AKA, I'm actually very close to learning stuff.
I think I'm getting closer. It seems to say so on my character sheet.
Perhaps,
it's starting to feel like I'm getting a hang of it.
Perhaps we should spar then.
Well, both of us being very, very bad at this shit, I don't think we're actually gonna kill each other, so that sounds like a good idea.
Why do you assume I'm bad at fighting?
Minna just gives you a long look. Well, you might be quicker than me, but I don't think you'll be able to actually get me down before I get you.
Maybe. But I am the one who was taught how to wield the weapon.
Yeah, they just assumed I could by the size of me.
Perhaps we should try a sparring match.
Sounds like a good idea.
Very cool. So, do we see like you guys sparring on like a windswept hillside? Like, do we fade out on that shot for you guys?
Sure.
That would be cool.
I'm a big fan.
God, This is like a shot. That's like a shot from Highlander with Queen music in the background watching them.
That's exactly what it is. That is completely and totally what it is.
I think the only thing he'll stop the entire conversation with is maybe we should get a set of knives. Give her a run for her money next time we start a fight.
Always carry a sharp knife.
We could
I think
teach ourselves.
Chiao's comment would be, I prefer the advantage of distance.
Yeah, but once they get close to you, that's bad. And I kind of prefer having something sharper than a fist.
Can't you use your staff in another grip, though? It's for close quarters combat.
I could try.
Actually, the twins could probably teach each other. I mean, a spear and a quarterstaff, some of the techniques would probably overlap.
Some of it might. The point is that the way you fight with the spear is to keep the pointy end pointed at the guy. That's what you use a spear for. Even though it is a stick made of wood that you could, strictly speaking, bash people with, that's not the point of a spear. And a quarterstaff.
No, but I mean, if they get close, you could always switch to a quarterstaff grip until you can get them at a distance again.
Yeah, you could absolutely try it. You can shorten your grip. That's a technique used in battle.
Yep.
You can do the same for a quarterstaff. You can shorten the grip on that as well. But there's a limit to how close quarters you can do it with. Even if you do like the Donatello grip on a quarterstaff, right, where you're holding it like kind of in the center, that thing is still.
Yeah, that's what I kind of mean with to do like a close quarters with a quarterstaff.
You can absolutely.
But that comes with the technique of learning it, because once you've learned it, there's a chance that you can actually keep them at bay for long enough for you to actually still be able to wield it.
You can both do that with your respective weapons right now. You don't need special training to do so.
But you'll just get better at it.
Yeah, you'll be better at it as you get better with the weapon. The limit I'm talking about here is the limit to like when we're talking about close quarters. Even if you do, as I mentioned, the Donatello grip, a quarterstaff is still a longer stick than you are tall. So even if you hold it like sideways, you're gonna have a problem swinging it around. Even if like you're shortening the distance it extends from you. So you're absolutely correct that you can do this, but Minnow is also making a very astute point that cramped place, right? That now that you've walked around Pike Market, there's probably a reason both Nikki and Evelyn favor knives is because the alleyways and like the space in general is so cramped that it's very likely that you can't swing around big weapons all that often.
Is brass knuckles a thing though?
Yeah, it is.
Because that would actually go well with him learning brawl.
Yeah, you could probably use brass knuckles in brawl. I mean, if you learn brawl, you'd be a monster anyway because you're sitting cozy on like 1,000,000 power.
Exactly. I'm thinking a fist to the face hurts, but if you get brass knuckles, who actually does extra damage, a fist to the face could kill you.
Yeah, a fist to the face could kill you if you're you. But it's a.
He still thinks he doesn't know how powerful he fucking is because he doesn't have the technique down. Wait till he gets the technique down and he'll find out. He's used to fighting warriors like the tribe, right? He isn't used to being in a home where the people are so squishy that their best health is 2.
So I guess this would be one of the few instances where it would be appropriate for your character to look at Rasmus' character and be like, do you even lift, bro?
Exactly.
Cool.
But we'll get to that once he finds out and say, yeah, you need more strength if you're gonna make any damage.
Cool. So I get so we established like we fade out on that shot of you guys like doing the Highlander thing, but on like this hillside, like practicing, and we fade out on that shot, and I think when we fade in again, it's still on the two of you, on like whenever you were on your way back into Manning Bridge.
Yep.
But you're not actually arrived in Pike Market yet. You're somewhere in Greywater, like you're near
damn it.
You're near the Forum, which is, let's see, I should say not the Forum, but one of the Forum. You're here.
Where? Oh, there.
Here.
We're at a circle.
Yeah.
Isn't that the circle we fried?
No.
Okay.
So that place is a forum. There have been like venues of public debate being constructed as part of like this philosophical movement that has been around for the past 100 years or so.
Okay. Another weird custom.
Yeah. And you're not exactly there, but you're around there. You're probably like you're jumping on buildings, right, Minnow?
Yeah.
You're being
Fastest way to get back in.
going 100% anime on this, jumping from building to building.
I'm going ninja.
Incredibly
running
awesome.
along.
And as you do so, I think we get like there's a moment where the both of you pause. You Minnow, you land on a roof and you're about to jump off when you like you hesitate, and Shihao, you're flying low to like keep around your brother, and you hear with your hawk senses what Minnow just heard, which is like a town crier or someone making a public address to a cluster of people standing here, in which he's shouting something to the effect of. This form of corruption, of evil, malign wickedness cannot be permitted to exist in the midst of good, honest men. And like people are muttering in agreement. This
I imagine that when we hear this, the bird is landing on Minnow while they're just watching.
probably.
Probably, yeah.
We have all heard the rumors. Some of us, he says, gesturing to the disenfranchised-looking people in the crowd, may even have seen it with our own eyes. And lots of people are shouting, I saw it too, it was horrible, oh, whoa, whoa. And are really playing it up. A lot of them probably didn't see whatever they're talking about, right? They're just really acting up.
That sounded like the start of whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, pussycat? Sorry.
Is it possible for people to cry? But I don't remember how that joke goes, but yeah. 7 What's New Pussycats.
Yeah.
But he says, yeah, we witnessed it. Some of us lost our lives. Some of us our homes, families in ruin, peace and order laid waste to.
How are you alive if you lost your lives?
All
tweet, squawk.
all born from the wickedness of these supernatural wicked entities. He continues to talk.
So the gist of it is, oh no, oh woe be us. There's magic in the city. Oh woe be us.
Exactly. He's railing against sorcery, but the point, like, and maybe I don't know if you care or not, but he gets to a point where he's like, this brotherhood will not be permitted to exist in our midst. We cannot permit it. We cannot allow it. The people who would protect us. The people who would protect us have their hands filled cleaning up the scum of the streets. These people flushing into our borders. But meanwhile, this new faith work their wicked magics, trying to obliterate our way of life, our traditions. So I say, we as good citizens must not allow the new path to get a foothold in this country, in this city. They must be driven out, and their vile sorcery too. Even if they claim to threaten us with these displays of violence, of wickedness, and of evil. And you, Shihao, I will leave it up to Minnow if Minnow pieces this together, but you would, because this hits you like an arrow as he continues speaking. It becomes clear to you that someone is taking credit for your shit.
I think Minnow got to that too. And all he does is looking at him like, oh, someone's riding your Stormcrow.
I think the hawk looks at Minnow, and it's quite clear that it's the hawk is quite clearly agitated, and it's
If
almost
Minnow senses the hawk about to set off and pick his eyes out, he will grab it.
now. I think the hawk is definitely contemplating either appearing before them, going like, "Who the fuck is taking blame for my shit?" or just casting a lightning storm on this place.
In that case, Minnow is grabbing the hawk and jumping on.
We out?
Just like, I know you so well. I can see the look in your eyes. Nope, squawk! I was about jumping off with a bird going
The hawk
completely.
definitely tries to break free.
Cool.
He's just
So,
holding on to the bird that's flailing and squawking and being very hissy-fitty.
So this sounds to me like a versus test. This is pretty simple. It is Minnow's intention to keep hold of you and get out of here, opposed by your wanting to get out of Minnow's grasp, which is opposed power, since none of you have brain.
In your face.
So I roll power.
You roll power.
I'm gonna
What is
find-
my strength is the same as a hawk. I remember.
Yeah,
My power
you
is the
have-
same when I'm a bird.
You have bird of prey stats, so yeah.
Oh
I
god.
will use a persona. How do I put
Will you
that
use
in?
a persona for this?
Yeah, he is not supposed to go off like a fucking bolt right now. That will get him killed.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a matter of like, we
Keep it
make light of it,
away
but
from
to
himself.
Minnow this is maybe very serious.
It's not that someone is taking his storm. He understands that that's annoying him. But if he goes off like right now, when people are milling hatred and saying, "I don't care if they throw magic in my face, we will murderize them," he sees that if he goes down there alone, he will get killed.
Yeah. So
So
okay.
that's
Yeah. So
the thing.
you are acting to protect your brother.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. Like I'm speaking to Minnow's consciousness here because I want to know where Minnow's at in terms of like on the scale of sociopathy. Is there any qualms or any like worry to Minnow? Does Minnow have any? Is Minnow worried that his brother may unleash a lightning storm and slay tens, maybe 100 or more innocent bystanders?
He doesn't know exactly what he's plotting. He can just see the rage and he's gonna go down there.
Yeah.
So he can't tell if it'll be lightning storm that'll kill everyone or white lightning that might go off wrongly.
But would you care?
He probably would, yeah, somewhere.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
The first thing would be he shouldn't go down there and kill himself. And the second would be there's a lot of children too.
Cool. So roll your respective powers.
And where do I plot in the persona?
When it says Arthur, add 1.
Oh, okay. Base obstacle?
It's a
One, I
versus
think.
test, so the obstacle is contingent on what the opposition rolls. So
Okay.
I guess yeah. You roll 3 successes. That
And
means
I'm gonna use a fate because there's 2 6s.
cool. So you use a fate.
2
Reroll
more?
the 2 6s.
Just because I can.
Definitely.
6. 2 of them. Roll. Get wrecked.
Nice. So
Ooh.
take a persona and note a persona and a fate spent towards your power.
So that is 1p, and I were about to say 1d, but no, 1f.
Yeah.
There.
You earn a routine test for your power, which I don't believe has any immediate effect on it. I don't think.
No, I need a difficult or a challenging.
Yeah.
There doesn't even say routine on the stats.
Yeah. You, Rasmus, you earn a. I mean,
Very difficult test.
Yeah.
Challenging chest.
This is power used in place of brawl. So you earn a being learned towards brawl, and actually you do too, AJ.
Yeah, I could do that.
Aw.
I'm learning brawl. Yay.
Yeah.
Being alert.
So I don't get anything to my strength?
No, the difficulty is actually let me just make sure I'm not kidding you here. So you're rolling 2 dice against an obstacle of 3. So this is a challenging test for you, which means that you could take this as a test
power.
towards your power.
I definitely want to do that.
Okay.
Guys.
Yeah.
If I unlock Brawl, it will start on B5.
That's crazy.
And I need
If I
5
get a-
tests to learn it.
Yosh!
If I get one difficult test towards my power, I'll have met the requirements. I have power. I need one difficult and one challenging to get up.
What is your base power as a man?
Same as a bird.
So it's 2?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, you are.
If I call you bird arms, I wouldn't be kidding.
No, you are very weak, sir. Weak of,
I'm
of
fast,
physical
but-
capacity. So
You're very fast but very weak, and that is why you're very fast. But that didn't help you this time.
So we get the struggle, right? We see you struggle in the grip of Minnow. Minnow, you hold on like this bird can't get out of your iron grip, and
Even if he turns into a man, that won't help. And
Exactly.
then he'll jump off with him in witch flight.
and I believe we see you land in the area right between the buildings in the cluster of alleyways behind your headquarters.
Landing beside the Striders. Is he still a bird?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's still a bird. So he comes back, and the bird is going berserk.
Yeah, I mean you have a good grip on it, right? So it's
Yeah.
he can struggle, but he's not gonna get out of that grip.
I think
imagine
after
to make
he
sure-
realizes.
No, just for the fun of it. He lands, he sees the bird is still going berserk, and he realizes if this one goes berserk and gets free, he'll fly off. So he walks into the house with a screaming bird.
I think after a while, when Xiao realizes he's not getting out, he doesn't squirm anymore, and he looks at Minnow instead with the evil glare of a hawk.
Yeah.
Intently stares at him the entire time.
This is the evil eye. The evil eye.
I just imagine the most demeaning, the most angry look a hawk can make times 10.
Yep.
With a bigger frown than a hawk can even muster.
So,
While he walks into the house with the hawk in his hand,
cool.
heading towards the room.
So you guys head into the building. We're gonna do a quick cutaway here, and I'm going to ask you, Chris, if we have a scene of Nicholas doing something while we have had like in the interim between them going off and returning.
No, I mean, while they were off, him and Evelyn were kind of
Doing
doing the nasty.
Yeah. How much
So
do you
basically-
charge for a nice hard shag?
£1,000.
Okay.
Well,
That's all
now
can
we know
negotiate.
what we're walking into, Sherry.
No, like, they haven't been doing it all the time you've been training. You've been out there for hours.
So it's also worth noting, by the way, for the benefit of everyone listening, and I guess also for the benefit of Chris, although I think Chris knows, that earning the checks you did from participating in the Duel of Wits has pushed your persuasion from exponent of B4 to an exponent of B5. So we have our first skill advancement in our game of Burning Wheel. So round of applause, everyone! Yay! Hooray!
I was so close. I just needed one difficult strength test, and then I would have had the first advancement.
Well, maybe if you try again. The second he lets
Nah.
go, the bird just assaults him.
Okay, so I assume then I put the skill up to 5, and then I just clear out all of the tests I've accrued so far.
That's correct, sir.
Excellent. Okay, that's now done.
So you lose all the challenging tests you made?
Yeah.
All difficult tests. Yep, it's because I spent them all. It took-
Yeah, but I'm thinking about me having done 2 on 1 and just missing 2 routines now.
Yeah. They reset when your skill goes.
Screw
Yep.
this shit.
That's it's a good way of advancing it. So, other than that, I suspect it's a case of no. Other than that, he's sort of been preparing, waiting for them to come back so they can discuss where to go from there.
Mhm.
Besides, I need to consider. I need to make a change to. I need to make a change to Nikki's first belief after the session's over, anyway. So.
Yeah.
I need to ask you something too about, by the way. So I'll ask you that just before we go to the scene of them entering the place. After the duel of wits, I'm curious about like what is Nikki's stance in terms of like on the matter of what happened in the duel of wits, because there is no doubt that Evelyn won the duel of wits. When it comes to the argument that was being made, she won. However, winning the argument is not the same as you agreeing to it. It's just that you have to agree that that's definitely an argument. She won her point, even though you may like even though it may irk you, she made her point well enough that like okay, she made the point well enough. But
yeah,
there's a difference between accepting that she won a duel of wits, she won a social encounter, and you ceding authority within your organization. You can challenge that as we play, like in being like, if she starts wanting to act on what she thinks she has earned from that duel of wits, you can try and shut her down and be like, no, I'm not gonna honor that because you weren't the one. Like you participated, but you're not bound to act on the outcome, only to agree who won. So what does Nicholas actually think about what happened? Just as a form of like foreshadowing for maybe future action.
I think he sincerely believes that she believes that in regards to the actual the point of the argument about the training, that she is mistaken, but at the same time he also recognizes the fact that she has definitely become she's become more confident in her position. She's become more determined to take charge within the organization, and he doesn't feel like he can. He feels that if he butts heads with her, the organization will come apart because she is integral to it. So he's going to, for now, concede to the decision she wants to make, or at least to support them to the best of his abilities.
Okay, I'm gonna poke you, and you don't feel obliged to give me what I'm poking you for, but I'm gonna poke you in one of your traits and ask you if you are nervous that she made a power bid, given that you have the paranoid trait, or is Nikki in a okay spot with this?
He is paranoid, but he's in a torturous position where he also feels he doesn't want to act on the he can't reconcile the paranoia and just start plotting against her, because, well, despite his lecherousness, he does actually quite like her. So he's in this horrible position where he doesn't trust her, but he doesn't dislike her, but he doesn't trust her, but he doesn't dislike, and it's a recursive, vicious cycle of his instincts versus his, well,
oh love,
feelings.
Thou art a curse.
Yes, that basically.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. I'm asking because I'm interested. So, knowing that, let's go back to the scene at hand. You are doing something. When we cut to the scene, we're seeing you sitting in the main room of your house, of your headquarters, as the door flies open and Minnow steps in with an angry bird in his hands.
Don't worry, I'm not throwing pigs at it.
No, you should throw me at the pigs.
Oh, right.
Namely Evelyn and Nikki.
No. Minnow walks in, looks up with an angry bird who is staring daggers at him, no longer squirming. Oh, hello. And then walks into the room. It seems he's holding on to the bird as if he lets go, it's gonna murder something. So, not too close to his face, basically. Kinda holding it out from himself.
So, did you let go?
No, he just said, "Oh, hello," and then heads to the room so the others have a chance to react to it.
Yeah, so I can't speak for Nikki. The two other guys in the room, the watch has presently, it has shifted, so there are two new people. They look up with perplexed lack of understanding and just like, oh, what? What?
A hawk.
Yeah, exactly. Conway, who is also sitting in this room, presently like he's sitting cross-legged on like some pillows and some blankets that have been draped over a box. He looks up for a moment, immediately recognizing your hawk shape, but not saying anything.
What does Nikki do?
Good question.
What does Evelyn do? If she's there.
Nikki
Evelyn is
kind
not
of.
in here.
Yeah.
Evelyn is probably in one of the adjoining rooms sleeping.
Right, so I've seen him transform into a hawk before, so I know it's probably him.
There's a
You
good
can
chance
also
that
see
it's him.
it's rather angry because it's probably puffed up, and he's holding it as if it was a ticking bomb.
Yeah, so it's definitely him then. So Nikki looks at it saying, What did you do out there?
We blew up some steam, then we found something new too.
That is the most...
Then we found something new that made him angry.
Wow, what happened?
Someone is riding his storm, so to say.
What? Taking credit for his doings?
Someone is taking credit for what he has been doing, yes.
I can see why
We
that
weren't happy.
No, I can see
I
why
wasn't
not.
sure if he would blow up the entire city or not, so I figured grabbing him would be a good idea. Sorry about the manhandling, but I kinda had to, brother.
The stare.
Minnow smiles sympathetically at him. You know,
I
had
could
we been anywhere else, I would have let you blow the entire place up because we wouldn't stay here. But we sort of have to stay here, you know.
The hawk narrows its eyes at you, and you get a distinct feeling that it's trying to say, "Do we really?"
He doesn't comment on that. But he gets the idea. Do we really, though? I really want to murder them. Please let me go. Please. I have a lightning storm waiting. Anyway.
So this
what does
exchange
Nikki say?
happens. What do you do?
Who?
All of you.
Well, I'm still being held, so I guess I stare daggers.
Look.
Heine, you're not making it any better. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
That's alright. Look, I understand, appreciate if something's upset him. I understand that things haven't gone quite the way he wanted, but we've got to focus and press onward.
Mm-hmm. I'll release him in the room.
The hawk flies off somewhere it can sit and starts preening its feathers.
Well,
It
he hasn't
takes
actually
break.
let go.
Oh, didn't you say you let go?
No, Minnow said, I will release him in his room.
Oh, I thought you said
And
I
then he
released the hawk in the room.
gestures. And then he gestures towards the room they sleep in.
I thought it was out of character.
No.
Cool. So you get released in the smaller room in which you sleep.
He closes the door, makes sure no one else is there, and then releases him.
Yeah, you're alone.
There. The bird does, as I said, it flies to sit on something and does a mixture of preening its feathers and staring daggers at Minnow.
I'm sorry, your feathers in a ruffle.
But so, I don't think he's going to be forgiven very quickly for this, is he?
No, but he might do once we continue the conversation. Because Minnow isn't about to let him lose his storm. He knows that he wants to be known.
I mean, Shihao has the perfect excuse to not talk to you right now, right?
Exactly. And he's using it.
Not talking to you.
So, they're there. Minnow makes sure no one is listening at the door.
Hmm?
And then he looks up. So, what are we gonna do to get your storm back?
Yeah, the bird definitely stops preening its feathers and looks at you and kind of cocks its head sideways.
You told
My
me you want
question-
to be known. I just want you to be smart about it so you don't get killed.
The bird looks at you for a while, and then it turns back into a man.
Falls down from whatever he was sitting on because that was too small for a man to sit on.
I think it does, like, it takes off and then turns into a man in the process, kind of like McGonagall in the first time she transforms from a cat.
Yeah, being all awesome about it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, obviously we find out who's taking my glory and execute them in a very public manner.
Maybe just in a flashy manner. Well, words will spread, right?
I don't know. If we do it flashily and no one's around, it's not really...
No. But we have to find out who is doing it first.
Yes. You are pretty good at mingling with people.
He lifts both eyebrows. You mean I'm good at chasing tail? That's about my extent of talking.
Well, you don't get all that just from your looks.
I know.
And he smiles, because if you did, I would too.
I don't have the obstacle of having people scream and poop their pants once they come near me.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Can't I rely on you to gather rumors for me?
That shouldn't be hard.
Meanwhile, I must think. I had decided to try more covert methods of gaining fame, like establishing a cult or something
That sounds like the best start. We did hear what he said, right? That no matter what we did, he would actually go directly to offense. So you would need someone who actually supports you before going extremely public with it. You know, look at me.
I think
Minnow just continues, well, look at me. I didn't actually want a reputation. All I did was help one there, and now suddenly people just, hey, that's the healer.
Oh god.
What the hell
Sorry.
just happened?
A spaceship
A bus
landed in
drove
Chris's
by.
room.
It was the bird,
Um,
apparently.
No, so, and if I manage to establish a cult or something similar, we can get away from these imbeciles. He says in a low voice, making sure that the imbeciles don't hear him.
The imbeciles heard him.
So,
Somehow they heard
so
him.
like smash cut to the adjoining room, like smash cut to the main room, in which the two guys who are on shift are eavesdropping at the door.
Well, Minnow, I did say that Minnow made sure no one was.
That's true.
And he is talking in a low voice.
I
To
guess that-
outsiders, it would sound like him trying to talk him down.
we see them try to
Actually-
eavesdrop, but you're being too quiet about it. They can't hear anything. We probably have like the smash cut is to them definitely listening, whispering to each other about how they can't hear anything and that they should shut up so they can better hear.
Actually, is there any reason for us not to speak Stormlands when we're with each other?
No?
Not really, aside from the fact that the Stormlander is the same language as this language. These aren't different languages. They're at most they're accented, so there's a different accentuation, and
Hey! Sorry,
I cut out.
they have very different naming schemes.
We can do something the others can't. We
Oh?
can read and write.
Well, that's true.
What the hell was that?
Fuck.
That was me making the sound. That was me making the sound of. I know that my character can do this as well, but I don't think it's appropriate to mention it just yet.
No, also, that just would make it impossible for the others to hear us, since all we would be doing is writing.
Yeah, but it's a slow method of communication.
It is,
Yeah, I
but
think
we
we're
can
just-
write.
Yeah,
We
just-
can write in the air.
You can talk it out. I will challenge you with listening in if I feel like it. And at that point, you'll
Okay.
find out. Just have the conversation.
Sure.
But anyway, it is kept in a low voice, and Menno sounds like he's trying to talk his brother down from being an angry bird.
I think you'll find that while Xiaoji is definitely angry, he's definitely also the cold angry right now. And it
But that
comes
is-
through mostly in that he's very eager to discuss methods of destroying people right now.
But at least he's not going in I'm gonna murder everyone right now, a hot-headed way of doing things that he was about to do seconds ago. Yep. Speaking of the hot-headed running into oblivion and getting killed, right? Yeah. Nice save, Menno. Nice save.
So while this conversation is taking place, we see Nikki, and what do we see him doing? What is Nikki doing while this is taking place?
Um,
The creepy mirror images have just walked into the adjoining chamber and are being quiet. And two of your men are standing inconspicuously near the door.
Trying to listen in.
my plan, if I think about it very carefully, is I decide I'm actually going to. I decide I'm going to see if thinking of the creepy mirror images to go and do something that might help calm the angry one down a bit. I'm actually going to. I'm going to go out into the city and see if I can find evidence of a magical relic or magical supplies for him to find.
That's awesome. How do you do that? I want to know, like, how Nicholas goes about doing this.
Circles?
Circles is an absolutely brilliant way of doing it, and that would fit perfectly with the system, but I don't want to assume that you're looking for someone who knows something. It might be that you're just opening trash cans and looking for magic items. I wouldn't know, so that's why I'm asking.
I'm checking my circles to see what if I've got anything that might work. Well, considering that I have is it reputation and affiliate? Would my reputation and/or affiliation with the smugglers allow for a check on that in that vein?
Yeah, you could see if you know someone who deals in, like, black magic items or something.
Yep. So how would I go about doing that?
You would make me a. You would first. We would outline, like, what are the what are we looking for in the guy we're trying to circle up? What traits are we looking for in this guy? What does he do, and who is he? And then based on that, we'll set the obstacle, and you will make a circles roll.
I'm looking for an acquirer of magical artifacts or materials used in the pursuit of the magical.
Right. So not necessarily like. Are we talking like strictly, provably magic, or like does it count that it's someone who hawks wares claiming that they're magic, but who might, because you may succeed at your circles test, like have some actual stuff for sale? Or like might know someone who knows someone, like he's the real deal.
Yeah, we'll start low and work our way up. So we start with the hawkers and the con men, and sort of see if they know someone who knows something that might actually be worth its weight in gold.
Okay, so what are your life paths?
Oh God, well, city-born smuggler, village peddler, and confidence man.
Right, so this would definitely fall under. You could put this under smuggling. It could also be under confidence man if you're looking for like a guy who's trying to, this feather totem will like create a benevolent spirit that will crawl into your dreams and kill the nightmares with good vibes. Right, if that's the kind of guy you're looking for, you could do that too.
No, I'm not looking for. I'm looking.
You know what you should do?
What should I do?
You should bring Convoy so he could help you discern what is real and what's not.
Potentially.
If he wants to come.
Also, what's real and what's not reminds me of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. No. Okay. Yeah, I might do that. I think I'll decide where I'm going to go before I worry about bringing the old fucker with me.
Not old
see, so-
fucker,
so
that's
someone-
just you.
I'll go with Smuggler over Confidence Man in this case.
Okay, so some kind of smuggler who moves illicit items and who may have a venue into what you're looking for.
Yes.
So it's the same station and rank and social class. It's the same life path as you. Disposition and character knowledge. You need a specific disposition or rare knowledge. Yeah, it's definitely rare. We established that in the fiction that magic is rare. So, so that's
bringing
plus
up-
3 up. So your up is 4. And time and place either doesn't matter, is unusual for this character, or is right here and right now and in the middle of trouble. So that does it. I'm going for doesn't matter here. My what I get from you is that you're looking for the guy, not necessarily to round him up right the fuck now, but just like, oh, I got a lead on this shit.
Yeah, basically.
Cool. So make me a circles test, obstacle 3, and take bonus for your reputation and your affiliation.
Okay, remind me how I roll for circles again.
So
I want to see you fail.
you have a circles stat, which is in your skills and stats.
Check it. Stats and skills. Let's see. Circles. Okay.
Yeah.
And you say it's plus 3.
Yeah, let's talk about what you got. So, what do you have that could increase? Like, what's your fictional positioning here? You have a reputation, which is 1 die, so you get 1 die for that. You have an affiliation with a smuggling organization, so take 1 for that. And then it's a matter of, do you get any help? It doesn't look like you're getting any help. You may never fork in circles. Do you have any wises that would be appropriate?
I've either got law-wise or grift-wise.
No, that's not applicable.
Okay.
So yeah, take
What? 2 plus 2 modifier, and it's difficulty 3.
it's difficulty 4, up 1 as a base, and then plus 3 for rare knowledge.
Okay, give me a second.
And inclined to share it with you.
What are the consequences of failure? So we get that out of the way now.
Right. So the consequences for failing is, if you fail, 2 things can happen. One is that you don't find what you're looking for.
Yep.
The other is I have the option of calling on the enmity clause, which is what we've been doing so far, where I find someone who is not favorably predisposed to you, but instead find out that you have an enemy out there, someone who feels insulted, mocked, intimidated, cheated, or scorned by you.
Yay! Oh yeah. Well, I can only politely request that you don't take that option, but I doubt that will sway you.
I will
So-
politely request you do take that option because it's most fun.
Make all the enemies.
Exactly.
Mhm. Anyway, okay, I'll just roll this and see what comes of it.
Cool. Let's see it.
No.
2 successes. Okay, so here's the deal. So you want to go about like looking for someone who might know someone who moves items that are purported to be like magical or mystical and so on. And you check your regular contacts, right? You check like underworld movers, like informants. You talk to all the tavern keepers, of course, right? There's the classical fantasy trope of talking to tavern keepers because they have all the conversation options. But what you find is like you get in contact with someone who might know something, and as you engage with that person, he just clamps shut, right? When you start talking about this, it's like he may know something, but he's absolutely stonewalling you, and your attempt to circle up a person hits a dead end.
Okay. That's fine.
And then we see this as a montage of you going out to find people and eventually failing, right? We have like you with like maybe shoulders sagging and head hanging, being like, oh, god damn it, as an indication that this montage ended in not bearing fruit. And then we fade back in on you after having tried to circle up people. And where do we find you, and what are you doing?
Good question. I am thinking you will probably find me back at headquarters, checking my timetable to see when I'm next due to head out to pick up the next shipment of fairy dust.
Very nice. So the next shipment is gonna go through, right? You have this organization of yours is way larger than just what's in Manning Bridge. It's like 20 people spread in a chain towards the border and beyond. So the product is gonna flow on its own, whether or not you show up. That's like part of the agreement, and that's part of how you keep it hidden, is by not overtly traveling once a month to pick up new supplies. It just moves. But if you want to get into contact with these people and like talk to them, then you will have to travel up there and basically meet up with them where they drop off the product.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it is scheduled to arrive like within 5 days of, like within the first 5 days of the start of the next month. So within the next 7 days or so. So with that said, you could probably make it up there if you like started journeying tomorrow or the day after tomorrow and were unhindered on the road. You could probably make it. If the wind blows favorably.
Okay. With this in mind, I would like to gather together everyone. I'd like to gather together my major co-players in the form of Evelyn, Minamir, and Jihaoji, and discuss the fact that I want to do this. I'm going to head off tomorrow.
Cool.
And what's going to happen in terms of who's going above leaving Evelyn in charge, taking the other two with me.
Yes, please.
Okay, so here's what's up with that. I want us to have that conversation. So either, and I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Either we have that conversation now and we fade out at the end of it, and then we deal with some Arthur, or we deal with Arthur now and we start next session with you guys having that conversation.
I'll be honest, I'm happy to wait until next time to do the discussion.
I had kind of hoped that as evening fell, Minnow would sneak off.
Yeah, I mean, we could address that next time, right? So we don't have to play out the end of today. We can just say that okay. So here's how we round the session off. Here's what's happening. So we find you, Nicholas, looking at this timetable. We like the wheels are turning. You're making plans. You're being like, yeah, I can do this. I can totally like. We see you looking at the worst drawn map in the history of maps, but it's there and it counts.
Yes.
And you may like decide, yeah, I can do this. You call together like a meeting of these people, and we cut to like a shot of basically like the camera's been placed on the table, looking up, and all of you are like leaning in, like talking to each other across this table. And as we like see this, like maybe someone's being like, yeah, Evelyn is saying to you, so what do you want? What's this all about? And the two of you, like the Terra twins, have been called in as well to for some reason, like Nikki has called another meeting, and as like the quizzical looks are exchanged and you lean in to be like, okay, what's up? Then maybe like we hear Nikki say something. So here's how it's gonna play. And then we have like the dramatic cliffhanger cut. It's just like immediate cut to black and then credits. And so we'll pick up on the conversation next session. And
Next time!
Exactly. And then, of course,
Find out this and more next time.
Next time on Burning
On
Wheels.
the Burning Wheels.
It starts with
Destruction
like
of Manning Bridge.
a ship sinking and like the sun crashing into the planet. Just all of a sudden, like all the stakes seem wildly out of place. No, but so end of the session. Let's talk Arthur. So some people definitely like there was some working towards goals today. I noticed. So let's start at the top. Minnow, why don't you run us through your beliefs, your instincts, and your traits, and talk about what earned you some Arthur and why?
None of them.
Okay, so we have the sassy lady. You didn't do that. You elected to stick around and like be with your brother instead. Secure your position.
Nope, not that either. And I haven't found out what happened to the product either.
Yep, that's true.
If I see Shihao getting into trouble, do what I'm doing and go to his side.
Yep.
Nope.
I feel like you've worked towards that at least.
You absolutely
You have
worked
done
towards
that. You have done that. Yeah.
But let's. But did you get in trouble because of it? Did it make your
No,
life
I
more difficult?
avoided trouble.
That's true.
If I see something attractive, flirt. If surprised, throw a weapon.
You did flirt, but it didn't quite get you in trouble.
Yeah. No drama was born from it.
I should have done. I should have given you that opportunity. Really.
That's good that you recognize that, because it's totally up to you if you would have done it, but you just having the thought now that I should have totally given you shit is very showing that you're getting into the mindset of Burning Wheel. So
Or the man just now realized he flirted with my girl.
Yes.
That's like so like the cut is like you guys sitting over the table, so we need to have a talk right now and to be continued ... right now, and just Nikki stabbing Minomir, just get off my girl, don't you make eyes at her. Boom.
Yep.
Instant
Too much.
fate. No. So okay, yeah. So I don't see any traits either that change the story in any meaningful way. So yeah, I think this is like we round up with a situation in which you don't earn fate or persona or deeds, unsurprisingly, for this session. So okay, that's Minnow dealt with. Let's look at Nicholas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a look. First belief about fire at warehouse attracted attention, seek to cover my tracks from Ruby Razor Company by framing Dr. Kuroba. Well, that has not have I not achieved that, but that entire goal has been completely circumvented by circumstances, and I have needs to be changed forthwith because Evelyn has convinced me to, instead of going quiet, we're actually going to go loud.
Okay, so I was gonna add. So you can definitely take fate for this, but here's my question is. So you say you've been convinced to go loud, and that's okay. If you've been convinced to do that, then I'm totally okay with you changing this, like changing the wording of it. But I would absolutely allow you to keep it if you are not convinced. But that's maybe like I'm putting the point on the table here that you could keep this belief and work towards your own way of resolving this conflict, or you could change it up if you want to.
I think I'd like to change it up.
All right, so we'll probably see that next time. Like, it's probably gonna be some variety of the same belief, but like with a different approach. But you can definitely take fate for it because you pursued it, and it did dictate a lot of the action that happened today. Was actually you talking about this.
Yeah, give me a second to put one fate point. Okay, second belief. Where is that? Jihan needs to stop drawing attention to me and my people. I find evidence of a magical relic or supplies for him to find and appease him. Well, I did try to pursue that, even though I ran into a brick wall.
You did, absolutely. So take fate for that.
Let me see. And finally, the money I've earned from Island Cloth Theft will further my goals of fairy dust. I will need to use it to negotiate with my suppliers for the recipe. Well, haven't got to that. We left on a cliffhanger so that next time I will begin pursuing that belief, but I don't feel it counts this time.
Yeah, So we'll probably see it in play next time.
Yes, we'll leave that one alone for now.
Cool.
Instincts. Never offer mercy to an enemy. No, that hasn't happened. Everyone's out to get me, so trust no one.
You circumvented
No.
that instinct a bit today, so.
I did, yes. So that's.
And
I
always
might
carry.
consider.
Yeah, go on.
I might consider changing that then. It's happened enough times now in regard to Evelyn that I might actually change it.
It might seem like that the not changing, like trusting anyone instinct is ripe for change, and maybe like you want to consider if you want to keep the paranoid trait for when we vote traits at some point.
Yeah. So what did you say? What did you say? I get a point off for that?
No points for your instincts. When it comes to your traits, it's a question of did the traits get you in trouble, or did they change your life or the story in an unforeseen way? I don't feel like it did.
No, not really. Okay, that's fine. Do we want to Xiaoji now?
Yeah, let's do that. So Shihao, let's talk about your beliefs, instincts, and traits.
Yes, let us. Or let us. So I totes want to be badass, and I want to spread panic in the city and the citizens and everyone should know me and fear my name. Yeah, I feel like that one suddenly got much harder.
It got reaffirmed anyway. So this is me challenging that belief, right?
Of course. I'm going to find that douche and end him. Or her.
Or them.
Or it. Them?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The new faith or the new path, whatever that was.
They must be died. They must be unsurvived.
Unsurvived is a good word.
It is.
So let's. So you didn't chase that, I feel like, but it came up. So we'll probably see it soon enough.
Yes.
How about your second one?
I failed in achieving that one.
Yeah, but you definitely get faith from it, and you don't have to remove it just because you didn't convince Evelyn. What you can do is so you're bound by the result of the duel of wits. But you can change, like if you can change the situation, you can give yourself a different playing field. You can bring back up the point again. So you could still like maybe it's like a wound to your pride where you're like, no, fuck that. I will convince you to do this. And then like you can give yourself an opening to try and really work for it, and we can see just how much you believe this. But yeah, definitely take fate for it.
Yes, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'll figure out what to do with it later.
All right, we'll talk between sessions. And then the third one.
I'll make sure Nicky holds his end of the deal to help me find knowledge. Well, he went on about that, but it was from no involvement of mine.
Yeah, so it's not your belief that drove this, so don't earn fate for that.
Yeah.
Let's see about your instincts. It happened.
Did?
So the first one, right? If weird shit happened, check if you're dreaming. So you did do that.
Exactly.
So here's the thing, right? This is the first time I've done this to you, right? I've worked off this,
and I feel like that was so awesome.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to do this more frequently when or if you get the dreamer trait.
Yes.
Until then, this is largely on you to create these situations for yourself. And
so I could start like a description like that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll definitely try to remember that.
Don't make it a page of stuff, right? We all have like stuff we want to do during a session, but definitely like just take a moment and just be like, yeah, let me put on my director's glasses for a moment, good GM, and tell you about this horrible nightmare I'm having while wide awake. Or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be a nightmare, It could be whatever. So you can do
I'll
that.
do that in the future. My next instinct, I just remembered a few minutes ago. I was like, I should so have done that with Evelyn, which is to respond to threats with intimidation.
You wanted to just escalate. Yeah, if you'd done that in
But
if you'd done that
it's
in
because you said escalation was going to violence.
yeah, that's true. So that's murder most foul. If you lose a duel of fate, you can be like, "No, I stab you." Just fuck your point. You can do that, but in this case, like what you could, I want to say what you could have done is, I don't know, if you had seen like her intimidation and been like, well, I'm just gonna intimidate you now. I'm just gonna do all the intimidation on you. Then you could have angled for that. It might not have earned you Arthur because it would have had to get you in trouble, but you could have angled for it. And then the third one didn't get you in trouble, but you definitely did it.
Yeah, and it has been reaffirmed. At the beginning, I said that Shihao was feeling like they were drifting apart, and that one might change.
Yeah.
But this session has definitely reaffirmed that his brother's the only one who has his back, and I should always ask him for advice when I need it.
Major
Go me!
thumbs up.
Yay!
Yeah. Traits.
Yep.
I don't feel like any of them got me in trouble in any way.
No, and none of them changed the story in any meaningful direction. So no, yeah, take nothing for those. All right, cool.
Yep.
So that's Shihao, done and dusted. Let me just quickly check my my reference document for other Arthur Billy, and then words, and then my tongue got very swollen. No, let me check
Cannot
for.
word.
Let
You
me check
lost
for other Arthur awards. Because we always do this and I always forget.
Yep.
It happens. But
I
yeah,
don't-
I was like, yeah, I should totally angle for Minnow actually being the support he's supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, I think you did a terrific job of being a brother. I say that as an only child, so I only know what I know about brotherhood from like sappy
Well-
movies.
Basically,
Yeah.
I had a sister, and I did what she didn't do.
Oh, harsh
Yeah,
shade.
I'd say that yes, as an older brother, yeah, you behaved exactly like a pair of adult brothers would in that regard. Children
so
brothers,
too.
child brothers are horrible to each other. Adult brothers are much closer, much more mature about their
They
interactions.
can be, provided
Yeah,
they
that's
get
true.
over all the evil shit they've done to each other during childhood.
Do we feel like anyone earns the embodiment award for like really, really good, dramatic, and distinctive role playing? Like really impressively good role playing.
I'm not. I think Jasmus did a particularly fantastic squawk, but that's about.
I am very impressed by his while Minna was talking. That was
Take a ghost persona for that. It's not a real persona, but it's the sentiment that counts.
yeah.
Yeah,
Be a bird
no,
persona
sorry.
instead.
Birdsona.
Birdsona.
Then there's Moldbreaker. I don't think any of you dramatically threw down one of your beliefs and was like, "No, I will do this completely different than what I believe in." So
No, I actually did that in the beginning. I dropped the make my brother stop thing
yeah,
and fixed that into something else.
if you had kept like a belief about making him quit what he's doing, and then in some like very dramatic conversation, lots of feelings on the line and so on, had been like talk this out with him and just found out that no, you do no longer believe that he should keep his powers hidden. This is who he is, and he must be allowed to express himself. Even if the road is horrible, you will stand by his side as his brother. Like if we had like really played on that and like gone gone full ham and just enjoyed the drama, you could have earned Mold Breaker for such a coincidence. But instead, you changed your belief to something different that is also very awesome, and that I look forward to
Because I
seeing you
had no
pursue.
idea there was something called Mold Breaker. Had I known, I wouldn't have changed it, because that would have been a grounding way of him to change his belief.
Yeah,
But
so
know
these are
it's
things
a thing.
that can happen. There's a basis for this, for Mold Breaker awards and so on. It's basically for dramatic moments of being like, wait, I'm gonna go beyond the bounds of my own character. Workhorse, nah. MVP, definitely not yet. And personal goals we've been through. So yeah, okay. So no bonus personas for anyone. So take what you got for this session, for playing to your beliefs, instincts, and traits. And thank you very much for an awesome session. And I look forward to having even more joyous fun with you guys next time we play.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
And for you, dear viewing audience, thank you very much for tuning into this session of Burning Wheel on Charismatoac. Please hang out on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I think that's what you're supposed to say when you're on YouTube. Anyway, if you enjoyed it, please let us know. If you didn't enjoy it, please tell us what you disliked. It all counts. And chill out on Charismatoac. We'll have more Song at Tara coming up soon enough. And more Burning Wheels. So I guess that's all for now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.